Imagine a world where the morning sun greets a flood of eager questions from across the globe, not about trivial matters, but about the very essence of existence, how to stretch the thread of life a little longer. These inquiries arrive like waves crashing after a storm, sparked by whispers of breakthroughs from laboratories exploring the frontiers of human longevity. People ask about supplements to bolster their vitality, beg for a chance to join experimental trials, or even wonder, sometimes, with a chuckle, if science can keep a beloved pet scampering a bit longer. Yet amid the curiosity, there are voices heavy with sorrow. A son offering a tribute to a mother lost to the slow grind of years, or a daughter desperate to shield her father from the fog of memory's decline. These stories pierce the heart, revealing a universal yearning to hold back time's relentless march. Hope glimmers on the horizon, faint but growing brighter. Medical marvels and life-extending innovations are no longer mere dreams. Some are here, others hover just out of reach, and a few more linger a decade away. Yet even without these tools, anyone, regardless of where they stand on life's map, can awaken the ancient machinery within their cells to defy the years. For centuries, in tucked-away corners like the sun-drenched hills of Sardinia or the rugged coasts of Okinawa, people have unknowingly tapped into this secret. These longevity enclaves, often highlighted as havens of the exceptionally aged, thrive not by chance, but by habit, simple choices woven into the fabric of daily living. The spotlight often falls on their plates, abundant greens, hearty beans, and rustic grains with scant traces of meat or sweets. It's a solid foundation, universally agreed upon despite the endless debates over the perfect diet. After all, human bodies, though varied, share a common chorus: thrive on the fresh, shun the over-processed. This wisdom isn't new, yet it clashes with a long-held belief. Aging is an unyielding tide, sweeping all in its path. Once, diseases, like pneumonia or tuberculosis, were seen the same way, inescapable shadows of fate. A century ago, they claimed half the lives in some nations. Now they're rare footnotes, tamed by science, ingenuity, and a shift in perspective. Aging, too, can be reframed, not as destiny, but as a challenge to outwit. Even as breakthroughs promise healthier decades ahead, the journey begins with choices made today. What fuels the body and what doesn't sets the stage. The power of less. After decades peering into the mysteries of life's duration, one truth stands tall: to live well and long, embrace restraint. Eat less. This isn't a radical revelation. Ancient healers like Hippocrates sang its praises, and ascetics through the ages nodded in agreement. Not starvation, not deprivation, but a deliberate dance with hunger, a state the modern world rarely permits. History offers vivid proof. A Venetian merchant, once drowning in excess, turned to moderation in his 30s, capping his meals at modest portions and a pair of wine glasses daily. His writings, penned in robust old age, tout a life of balance. He thrived past a century. Centuries later, a French scholar mirrored this, outlasting skeptics to reach 102 on a sparse diet, guided only by instinct. Science caught up in the 20th century. Early experiments revealed rats stunted by scarcity outlived their well-fed kin. Later, researchers fed rodents diets laced with inert fillers, think edible cardboard, and watched them flourish longer than expected. From yeast to flies to mice, the pattern holds. Curbing calories without crossing into malnourishment ignites a primal survival switch. In yeast, scant sugar tightens DNA, delaying decay. In mammals, it's a razor's edge, enough to sustain, never to indulge, rousing genes that fortify cells against time's wear. Humans, though, are trickier to study. Controlled trials falter against free will and abundant pantries, yet glimpses emerge. Okinawan elders, leaner than their mainland. Peers consume fewer calories and boast fewer ailments. In a desert dome decades ago, 8 souls, unintentionally short on crops, lived hungry but hale, mirroring the biochemical shifts seen in long-lived rodents. Recent trials nudge volunteers to trim intake by a fraction. Even modest cuts sharpen health markers, hinting at slowed aging. For some, this becomes a way of life. Pairs like a chess champion and his wife thrive on 3/4 the usual fare, their vigor belying their years. Rhesus monkeys, our near kin, seal the case. On trimmed diets, they shatter lifespan records, some hitting the human equivalent of 120. The earlier the shift, the greater the gain, though even midlife adjustments pay off. It's not for all. The discipline daunts many. Yet the prize isn't just years, but vitality. Fewer shadows of heart disease or cancer dimming the horizon. Timing the feast, constant hunger isn't the only path. The body's ancient rhythms respond to pauses. Intermittent fasting, a cycle of plenty and scarcity. Nearly a century ago, researchers noted rats fasting every 3rd day outlived steady eaters by a 5th. Once dubbed a rest, it's now clear this stresses cells into resilience. Modern trials echo this. A few days monthly on broth and bars shed fat, ease pressure on the heart, and dial down a hormone tied to aging's toll. In longevity's hotspots, like a Greek isle where the old outnumber the young, fasting weaves into faith and tradition, skipping meals or meats for half the year. Options abound. Skip breakfast, shrink 2 days intake weekly, or brave a quarterly fast. Each nudges survival gears without breaking the bank. Indeed, it lightens the purse. For those daunted by denial, the key lies not just in quantity, but quality. The protein puzzle life demands amino acids, protein's bricks, 9 of which we can't forge alone. Meat delivers them all, a swift fuel with a steep price. Studies link it to heart woes and cancer's creep. Processed cuts, sausages, bacon amplify the risk, their chemicals stirring trouble in the gut. Plants, though, offer a gentler bounty. No single leaf packs meat's punch, but together they suffice. Less methionine, less mTOR chatter, more cellular cleanup. Mice on low methionine diets shed flab fast. Humans cutting branched-chain aminos see metabolic gains. Vegetarians, leaning, green, dodge disease more often, not just from restraint, but from the vibrant compounds in their fare. Motion. As medicine for ages, movement has been vitality's ally, not merely for flushing veins, but for stirring cells awake. Studies tie exercise to longer telomeres, DNA's protective caps, adding years of youth. A half-hour jog most days slashes heart risks by nearly half. Even 10 minutes daily stretches life's thread. Intensity matters. Brisk bursts awaken more genes, especially in the seasoned. It's stress-turned ally, raising energy, weaving, new vessels fueling mitochondria, rewinding the cellular clock. The chill factor cold, too, rouses longevity's guards. Mice engineered to run cool live longer, their brown fat, a heat-making marvel, shields against decline. Shivers spark this tissue, cutting disease in rodents. Humans might mimic this, Brisk winter walks, light blankets, though excess risks frostbite. Heat, conversely, intrigues. Yeast thrives hotter, boosting survival genes. Saunas, a Finnish rite, have heart deaths in frequent baskers, perhaps nudging similar pathways. Comfort dulls these levers. A touch of adversity sharpens them. Guarding the code stress strengthens, but damage dismantles. Smoking accelerates aging's clock, its toxins taxing repair crews. Beyond it, modern air and plastics leach DNA-harming agents, PCBs, dyes, nitrates in cured meats. Radiation, sun, scans, radon, adds breaks, scattering genetic sentinels. Mitigation matters, shun smoke, limit plastics, favor fresh over preserved. No fortress blocks all harm, but each step steadies the landscape. A universal call from youth to frailty, these levers, less food, timed pauses, plant-heavy plates, motion, temperature's edge, beckon all. For the fragile, aid looms, sciences. Next chapter. The blueprint is clear. Small shifts today ripple into decades of vigor tomorrow.